Hey everybody, this is my 55-gallon T Bar tank, and recently I ordered some wonder shells to put in this tank. I've got a couple of Mystery Snails in here, and it's sort of come to my attention recently that with the lack of calcium in my water, my shelled animals, my crayfish, my shrimp, snails, etc., aren't going to do very well in my water until I get some calcium added to it. So I looked around, I've tried some home remedies, I've thrown some eggshells in various tanks, and that all works. But I found a product called Wonder Shell, and it's supposed to do a variety of things. Not only does it add calcium to the water, it sort of remineralizes the positive ions, and it adds trace minerals, and so on and so forth. It's supposed to do all these good things without affecting your water's hardness or raising the pH or anything else. So I got my order in the mail today, excuse me, and I put 3 of them in the tank. I don't really know how many I'm supposed to put in there. You can see one right there. I kind of left it out so it's visible without really being visually intrusive, and we'll be able to see, how quick it dissolves. I've got no experience with these at all. I have no idea what to expect, whether that's going to be a pile of white mush within a couple of days or if it's just slowly going to dissolve away like limestone. It was fairly lightweight. It was sort of powdery feeling, but not soft and crumbly. I didn't want to squeeze it real hard to see if I could crush it or anything. Felt kind of like chalk. So I've taken the pH of this tank, and it's coming out in that sort of weird in-between measurement. If you use the API test kit and you'd use the high range and the low range, where I'm falling is sort of above the low range. The low range kind of jumps from 7.2 all the way up to 7.6, and I'm at that 7.6 blue color. But then when I test on the high range, which starts at 7.4, it's not even dark enough to register 7.4 yet. I'm below 7.4 on the high range, but I'm at 7.6 on the low range. So I never really know what to make of that pH. In my mind, I always kind of slap that right around 7.3 and call it good. I don't need perfection when I do these tests, and in this particular test, it's not so much trying to find out what the pH is, rather than just getting a baseline so that we can compare the pH in 3 days, 5 days, a week, or whatever, and we'll see if it goes up. So whatever it's called, whatever the number is not that important. I can see what those colors are, and if those colors begin showing higher levels of, pH or less acidity, I should say, then we'll know that some sort of impact is happening. The tank itself is kind of an odd tank to test this on because the pH is higher than my tap water, and I'm not sure how the pH goes up. Once it goes in this tank, there's nothing in there that should be driving it up. If anything, over time, as the nitrates build up in the tank and as the tannins build up in the tank from this piece of wood here and the roots and the plants and everything, the pH in the tank should go down over time, not up. And yet here we sit slightly higher than what my tap water is. So the pH has gone up in some degree. So it's still neutral enough, and the water is still soft enough that I still consider this sort of a neutral soft water tank. And finding out whether or not those little wonder shells I put in there have any impact or not should be interesting. At the very least, they should help the process of my mystery snails growing their shells. The white one still looks pretty good, but the black mystery snail, its shell looks kind of deformed already. The color's off. It looks sort of an off gray color instead of that sort of shiny black that it used to be. So the idea is that not only will it dissolve into the water, but the animals can go and graze directly off of it, sort of like a salt lick with minerals in it or whatever, that an animal can actually get its trace minerals directly from. So that's why I'm not worried about putting a bunch of them in there. I'm not trying to change the water chemistry so much as you can almost kind of think about it as a salt lick for snails being in there. They can actually go graze directly off of it. So stay tuned, make sure you're subscribed, that way you won't miss any of the updates I've got. It'll be interesting to find out what happens to the water chemistry in this tank, and of course if you're subscribed you won't miss any of that or anything else I've got coming up. So don't forget, this one is my T Bar tank. Thanks for watching. I'll see you real soon in the next one.